See if it's lagging.
We ready to rumble. Bare knuckle squad, hear the crowd feel the stumble. Adrenaline pumping, no fear in our eyes. We fight for the glory, ain't no room for lies. Throwing punches hard, yeah, we hit the score. Syndicate on the rise, can't ignore the roar. In this pretty game, we're the kings at the block. Bare knuckle syndicate, solid as a rock.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Bare Knuckle Syndicate. Your host, Big Face here, man. It's that time of the year. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. And you can tell from the schedule of fights that we've had November, December, January. Hot fights to start off. And a couple of weeks ago, we were at BKB 48 in Pembroke Pines for an outstanding night of the Night of Four Kings, where we saw some amazing fights. We also were able to catch up with many celebrities ringside who were there. Miami is, of course, the mecca of fighting, it seems these days, definitely the mecca of bare knuckle fighting. And we happened to run into one of the hottest young MMA fighters in the world. And we asked him if he'd come on the show, and he graciously, in the middle of camp, gave us some time. So let's welcome to the show, the one and only Jose Shorty Torres to the Bare Knuckle Syndicate, man.
I feel like I got to do what you're doing, man. I got to do what you're doing.
Hey, you got to, man. You're a pro. How you doing, bro?
Everything's well, man. I'm alive. I can't complain. Just finished working out, but like you said, I'm in the middle of camp, so I'm just ramping everything as much as possible, trying to promote as much as possible. So thank you for having me on here, and man, just trying to finish the year off strong, literally, because my fight is on New Year's Eve, which is also crazy because Japan to here is 14 hours ahead of time. And I believe it's only like a 10-hour, 12-hour flight from here. Now, with that being said, I could literally celebrate New Year's Eve in Japan or New Year's in Japan and then take a flight back to Florida and celebrate it all over again and be like John Connor, say I'm from the future.
That's what I'm. Hey, what? That's what I'm talking about. On once in a lifetime situation there. So New Year's Eve, man, and let's talk about it. The upcoming fight there in Japan. What's it like? Not only camp is hard, weight cuts hard, training's hard, but to do it during the holiday seasons, what type of discipline is that taking right now?
Well, for people who don't know, Amanda Nunes will be fighting Kayla Harrison January 24th for the bantamweight women's title, and I've been part of her camp pretty much since she possibly found out or trying to figure it out until it finally was announced. And so I've been part of her camp. Coincidentally, I didn't have a fight, so I was like, oh, let me just help her do the thing. Let me try to stay in shape because I got to be 100% for her, so she can be 100% of her fight. But then I found that I was fighting a couple weeks ago. I'm like, okay, cool. It's time for me to get to it. Now I'm doing literally two camps at the same time to where one of the days, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, Tuesday, I sparred in the morning 5 rounds. And then literally an hour later went to her camp, sparred with her for 5 rounds. And I got to be like Kayla Harrison. So pretty much
Wow.
the woman's version of Marab and just be on her like a leech, try to take her down, force, all these different things that Kayla likes to do. And then, which again is a very different style for me. So in a sense, I'm getting beat up more than I possibly should, because I can't use the style I want to use. Because I have to be like Kayla. And then after that, go to the gym, do my own little workout to cut weight and all that stuff. So it's a process, not just physically, because it does definitely suck. Your body can only take so much, but mentally of being able to go, cool, I want to help you, but I also got to help myself because if I don't help myself, I won't be able to help you. And I also got to do the things I have to do to not just diet, but also lose weight, make weight, and then all the behind the scenes that people don't know for fighters who deal with banners, the logos and the shorts, trying to find sponsors for all the above, trying to find people who make everything. So it's a process. So I'm now calming down. I get to focus more on the fight leading up to it. I leave on Christmas Eve. Talking about not
Wow.
being here for the holidays, I didn't get to spend Thanksgiving with my family. My family's from Chicago. So I didn't see my family for Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna see them for Christmas Eve, Christmas. I'm not gonna be with them for New Year's. And then immediately right after that, I gotta make sure not just in the fight to be healthy and win and all that stuff, but be healthy for Amanda because I'm flying straight back here, a few days later to help continue Amanda for her camp that we fly out to Vegas, and it's a lot.
That is a lot, man, but it's an exciting time to be right involved in the mix. Amanda Nunes fight, that's a huge fight. A lot of people looking
Mhm.
forward to that. And you get the bird's eye, not only the bird's eye view, but you're integral in her getting ready for the fight, and that's amazing. Let's talk about your opponent. Um,
Mhm.
you're facing. Is this your second fight for Risen?
It is my third fight for Ryzen,
That's right.
and my opponent, just in case you don't say it right, because it's all different
That's why I
names,
want you
different
to say
countries.
it.
Yeah, Joji Goto. So
Joji
Joji
Goto.
Goto
Okay.
is a tall guy. I mean, for me, tall. He's 5'8", or at least it says he's 5'8". He looks a little bit taller, which I've had before. Tapology, sure, dog always say he's a certain height, and then they end up being a little bit taller. But for me, I'm used to it now. Being back down at flyweight at 125, fighting guys my height, it's almost weird. Like I'm so used to punching up and doing this and doing that compared to somebody my height. I have to change everything. I'm like, oh, this is why people don't like sparring with me, because now I understand the game of fighting somebody around my size, not even sometimes smaller. But Joji Goto, I'm bumping up a weight class for this one, fighting him at the taller opponent at the higher weight class. It's a dope thing, man. If people haven't watched Pride back in the day, or Dream, or
I love it.
Pancrase, Ryzen is pretty much, the like the trilogy promotion of it, or the fourth promotion of that whole thing from Pride. You fight in the same ring, you find the Saitama Super Arena. It's 42 to 43,000 people in
Wow.
attendance. When you walk out, they don't show the walkouts unless you buy the pay-per-view. um you feel like Stone Cold Steve Austin walking out to the arena. Like, it's 43,000 people. I don't even think
Wow.
Madison Square Garden holds that, so when you walk out, I didn't know at all. I just saw the fights from inside the ring, because you have to walk out with any songs, so you can't put on YouTube because it's a copyright issue. So I'm like, okay, cool. I saw the fights or whatever. They're like, all right, Shorty, stand behind this screen. It's a wall. It's gonna lift up, and you go out. And I, walk up to the stairs. They have no ending because the wall's there. Then out of nowhere, I hear my theme song go on, and you have to send everything in 2 weeks before your fight. Your sponsors, your walk-on music, your medical stuff like that, so everything's cleared. And the reason why they want the music 2 weeks before the fight is because they want to create a walkout for you. And the lady, the very, very, I can't remember her name sadly, but the very famous lady who was part of Pride, who announces all the fights, she does everything special to that fighter. So while the music's playing, you might not even walk out for an entire minute, because they're waiting for the beat to drop or a special moment in the song to come up, so you can seem that much more spectacular walking out. And dude, it just started coming up. They're saying my name, Smoke is here. I'm just like, oh my gosh, honestly, it's a dream come true. Like, you really do feel like the main event, whether you're the first fight or the last one.
I mean, yeah, I cut my teeth on Pride. I came up with loving Ernesto Hoost and Bonjowski, and Pride was fantastic for me, introducing me to a whole nother. And they're the fandom over there is insane. And you're right.
Hmm.
I mean, to the Raptors, rock and roll rock stars. That's got to be special for you. Now you're coming off a loss.
Hmm.
How does that change your mentality when you're coming off a loss? Do you press harder? Um, what does it change as far as the camp, or does it?
It's crazy because, I grew up when I started MMA, I was 18. I lost my very first fight by split decision as an amateur. And then I went 25 straight, became two-time world champ for the IMAF, first ever to do it before Muhammad Mokaev. So he was the guy that followed me, and then other fighters were able to do that after him. And then, I became 7-0 in Titan FC, double weight class champ. Then I got to the UFC, won by an accidental KO. I was like, all right, whatever, man. Win's
Yeah,
a
that
win.
was
I'll take it.
crazy. Dude tried to slam you and knocked himself out. I remember that.
The hard part about that, he made a rookie mistake. So him and I are both really good wrestlers, and Justin Gaethje actually did this to Michael Chandler years later. But when somebody gets double legged, you don't flail. You actually hold on to the hips. So when we fall to the floor, more than likely you're gonna fall to your side, and now it's a 50-50 scramble. I have a better chance of getting out. I'm still getting slammed, but I have a better chance of getting out. This guy decided after I locked his hips to try to extend, but he can't move his back because there's no hip movement, and my chest is on his back. But he decided to jump, and I landed right in his head. So it was one of those, like, it's kind of like when you tell a freshman, if for people who know wrestling, when somebody has your back, they tell you never to reach back because you're gonna put yourself to your back. He ended up doing that, but in a whole different sense. It's like, don't try to slam somebody when you can't slam. Don't force it, and you're gonna hurt yourself. And he did. But with that being said, I ended up losing my first fight in UFC, and I was on a
Mm-hmm.
33 fight winning streak, or my second
Mm-hmm.
fight in UFC. So I was on a 33 fight winning streak, and I'm like, man. this is weird to lose. It's nice because I haven't lost in years. You need to lose. It helps you kind of humble yourself in a sense. But I was like, all right. Eventually, I got released from the UFC, became the Brave bantamweight champ. But then
Yep.
I lost twice in that. And the last fight against the trilogy that I had, I thought I won, but I was like, all right, man, so be it. So I was in a 2 fight losing streak, and I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. I've never had this before. It's a mental battle when you lose 2 fights in a row, especially when you're not used to losing. It's kind of like, man, am I even good anymore? Do I want to do this? It's a mental, catastrophe, and you have to handle it. And so for me, I took the last minute fight in Ryzen. I ended up winning. I was like, oh, I'm back. But then I cut back down to flyweight in May, and a fight that I thought I won 2-1 easily, they gave it to the other guy, and I'm like, oh man, damn, I thought I won. Like, and the fans thought I won. Everyone thought I won besides the judges. So I'm like, oh, well, this sucks. It is what it is. Move on to the next one. I was told I wasn't going to fight anytime soon, so I was being fat and happy, enjoying myself. And I received the last minute fight for Ryzen in July. I cut 40 pounds in 1 month. And then when I landed in Japan 7 days before the fight, I was actually 30 pounds over because my body
Wow.
held water. So I made weight, but I didn't fight to the best of my ability. We didn't have a full 24 hours to rehydrate because we ended up leaving early and all that stuff. And it became a debauchery. But I get there and I didn't compete at my best, but I still thought I won. I was like, all right, cool. Like I won, moving up to the semifinals in the flyweight Grand Prix. And then they gave it to him. And everyone, even in Japan, was like, no offense, we thought you won. But again, the judges are the most important. So I'm like, damn, I got screwed over twice in a row. Given this last performance, I couldn't compete at my best, but I haven't. I need to now start finishing. So for me, getting this last minute fight, yes, at a higher weight class, against a bigger guy, um, but I'm 100%. I get to feel good. I get to be happy, enjoy myself, do two
Right.
camps at once. But it is, dude. It's a mental battle because it's one of those things of, all right, cool. I win. I'm back in the winner's circle. We just go from there. If I lose, okay, hey, man, we just keep on fighting. But if I lose this fight, that's 3 fights in a row, And this guy, I wouldn't say he's not great, but he's definitely not bad. So it's like, man, can I still compete with these youngins? I'm not old by any sense, but I'm also
No.
33 years old, and I've been competing. I've had almost 50, fights total,
Well, and you
in
had
my
a
entire career.
storied amateur career too, like 25-0 win streak,
Yeah,
25-1, I think you ended.
I was 25-1, and right now I'm
That's right.
13-5-1.
So you
So
fought a
what was that,
ton of
18,
fights,
19 plus 26 fights? Yeah, I'm almost at 50
plus
fights.
all the
So
gym wars that no one ever sees, right?
too many. So for me, yeah, definitely I can tell you with that. I can definitely tell you how I know how tough I am. But it's a case of, damn, what if I lose? I'm not saying I'm gonna retire, but it makes you rethink some stuff of, man, I gotta change this, I gotta change that. Or so for me, also for people who don't know, I used to live Dean Thomas is one of my coaches, especially now that I'm back here in Florida. And Dean Thomas is a UFC sports analyst right now. In between the rounds, he announces what what he believes these fighters should be doing in the round to possibly win, or what this person is doing because he's winning the round. And for me, I'm gonna be taking him, and I look at him like a father figure to me, but I'm very, very intimidated by him because I respect him that much. So if he tells me, "Hey,
Hmm.
I need blood," I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, no, you're gonna get blood. You're gonna like." I don't want to disappoint him, and he's gonna be flying with me to Japan. So him and Charles Rose are gonna be coming with me, and it's gonna be a dope time, man. So I get to have a really good corner that I trust and believe in, and now it's one of those redemption fights for me where it's like I can't just win. I need to finish a fight to solidify because I also have to be healthy to come back to help Amanda. So we need to have 2 wins because if I lose, that puts it down on her camp as well.
True, true, true. So Risen, New Year's, what, January 1st, or is it January 30th, right? New Year's Eve?
No, it's 31st,
January
31st,
31st. You can catch
or
that one on the
December
pay-per-view,
31st.
right? You can get that on Risen on
December,
pay-per-view, correct?
yeah, December 31st on RIZIN.TV.
December 3rd. I said January, didn't I? Man, the year is flying by. There's so
Yeah.
many. Well, while we're talking about that, you heard there, December 31st. You say what'd you say? Risen TV?
Yeah, Ryzen. So over there they say Ryzen, but yes,
Rising,
Ryzen.tv.
Risen, right? Yeah, I gotta
Yeah, I know.
get that down.
I said risen literally the first time I
Well,
was
he
on the
is
show. I'm like,
risen.
I'm
We're used
happy
to
for
saying,
risen. Yeah.
yeah, rising. So, okay. First of all, we all have complete faith in you, man. Anyone who's followed your career like me knows that you're a fantastic fighter. And sometimes these nuances of taking fights out of your weight, taking short fights. These all add in to create more challenges, and people don't
Mhm.
understand, oh, he's got a loss. Yeah, but did you know he came off a loss and then he jumped up a weight class and he did these things? And that just shows a true warrior spirit for you to take that type of fight, because a lot of guys won't. A lot of guys protect their legacy so hard that they can't build one. You were definitely building a legacy, Shorty. Your name rings bells all over the place. When I got to Miami and somebody said, there's Shorty Torres, I said, what? Let's go. And we went right through the crowd to get you, man. Speaking of that, we did see you at a bare knuckle boxing event. How do you feel about that? How many of have you had you were at BKB? Have you had the opportunity to go to a BKFC show yet?
Yeah, I've kind of done the trilogy. I've done BKFC, BYB, or is it BYB?
It used to be BYB, now it's BKB because they bought BKB and they became all one. But BYB was
Okay.
definitely, yeah.
So that show, and then I also went to the Ice Wars, and
Oh
so I
yeah.
got to see, kind of a spectacle of everything. I can tell you, man, I remember the very first bare knuckle fight. It was a BKFC fight. Was Paulie Malignaggi versus what's the guy's name? No, you.
I forget his name he fought, but I remember the fight. I watched the fight
But
and
the but
probably,
the but the
probably
MMA
lost.
fighter, and yeah, and Paulie lost, and we were doing kind of like a backstage commentary, but while the fight was happening. But they're filming us, not filming the fight legally, and man, I was just like, I think Paulie's gonna lose because stylistically he's a stick and move type of guy. He's a very flashy fighter. MMA fighters, for the most part, have the advantage in the bare knuckle sense because one, the ring is so small, and especially the bare knuckle guys or the MMA guys that eventually do bare knuckles, they're brawlers. Like they're not wrestlers, they're not grapplers, they're brawlers. They know they're gonna punch in the face, and that's the fight that they like to fight. And we're no offense, we're sloppy, we're dirty. Paulie for sure, 100% is gonna be the best boxer, no matter how old he is, against any BK, bare knuckle fighter
Any
he
bare knuckle
fights.
fighter. Yep.
But he's not dirty. He doesn't have that grit. It's like when Luke Rockhold, I think, fought what was it, Mike Perry? It's just like, dude, Mike Perry's gonna win. Now, if it's the MMA fight, even if it's just stand up, Luke Rockhold's gonna win every single day. One, he can stick and move, he has a length, he can kick, he can do all these things. But you limit the tools and make it a grinding fight. There's a reason why Luke Rockhold's so damn good looking, is because he does not like to get punched in the face. Not saying Mike Perry's not good looking, but that guy doesn't give a fuck. Like
He
he
doesn't give a
doesn't
fuck.
care. And that's his thing. He wants to get punched in the face because the more he gets hit, and that's kind of like me. The more he gets hit, he's like, "Cool, let's go. I want to show how tough I really am. Even if I lose, I want to make you bleed," and that's the goal. So that's why he was able to win that fight, and I think that's why Mike Perry found his sport. Again, good MMA fighter, but
Yeah.
phenomenal bare knuckle. He's a phenomenal brawler, and the bare knuckle sport is perfect for him.
And he's a fantastic draw. He's got a great personality. He knows how to get the crowd. He knows how to play the bad guy when he's supposed to play the bad guy. I mean, all those things he's always been excellent at. Okay, so you've been to the gamut and you even went to the Ice Wars. What did you think of the Ice Wars, man?
Dude, you gotta think about it. That's just a whole. I mean, it's a fun shit show if that
Yeah,
makes
yes,
sense.
yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
and it's not being rude, but you gotta think
Nope.
about it. It's like, yes, there's hockey fights, and I love seeing actual hockey and hockey fights. And those are the
Yep.
best things for me. But
Yep.
the thing is, man, you don't just got to worry about getting punched in the face. You also got to worry about moving. And that's really hard to do
Man,
when you're
oh
wearing ice
man.
skates on
No,
ice.
man.
When somebody, now hear me out. I don't like with jujitsu with the gi. The reason why I don't like no or why I don't like the gi compared to no gi. Obviously MMA, it's tailored to my sport of no gi. But the gi, I grab you, dude. I gotta do everything possible to get that grip off. And some people have this damn gorilla grip that I'm like, I just can't get away. It's the
Yep.
same thing. I always say, I like to mess around. It's like the gi kind of reminds me of like a woman's fight, where it's like whoever grabs the hair first is more likely gonna win this fight because you can pull, you can tug. It's the same thing with an ice hockey fight. And you're bare knuckle with no helmet, no face protection, no anything besides maybe a mouthpiece if you decide to put one on. You're trying to skate, you're trying to avoid punches, and somebody's grabbing your shoulder pad, you're grabbing your shirt, grabbing all these things and punching and doing all these things. So it's a very, and you're limited in space as well. So that is probably one of the, I think it's easily the hardest sport out of all of them.
Oh
One, you
hell,
gotta
hell
obviously
yeah.
gotta know how to
Hell yeah.
ice
What?
skate, but then two, the multitasking in that is ridiculous, and you can still get knocked out clean.
And it's a lot. There's a huge segment of the population that watches hockey just to see the fight. So what a way, just to get it all, just get the fights. And but
Well,
speaking on
well
that, I
that
want
But
Yeah.
that, well, I'm sorry, but that I
No,
also thought about it. Just imagine falling. You're not falling on a canvas. You're
falling on
falling on
ice.
ice.
So what
You
happens if
know,
you bang your
a
head
metal
on the
floor covered in
ice?
this. Exactly. You know, so if you, let's say you get dropped and, dude, what about you get wobbled and now you're on, you got to think about it. You're already wobbled. You can't stand, but you're on now ice skates. Like think about
Hey, you
the,
know
like,
how when you punch a guy and he's on Queer Street or wherever they say he's on skates? Well, you
yeah.
already on skates,
Yeah,
brother.
in all technicality, so you're on blades now. So this is so it becomes that much of a higher level of difficulty. So
Very
for the people
dangerous.
who do that, like kudos to you. I don't think, I mean, I skate well, but I don't think I'll ever do
No.
something like that. But that's uh that's a very, very hard thing to do.
Well, not even questioning if you would ever do it, Shorty, because everyone loves to come up to every MMA. I did it too at the event. We love to come up to the MMA guy and say, "Hey, would you try this?" Well, it's like walking up to a wrestler and say, "Hey, would you box? Hey, would you?" It's a different sport entirely than the sport that you're professional in. But
Mhm.
I do want to ask you about the growth of the sport. You've been there. You've been to all these events. You see it. It's growing. I mean, people love it, and when you go live, it is one of the most exciting things to be at live.
Oh, I mean, it's phenomenal because you look at, again, like we talk about the ice, hockey fights, the actual hockey fights, like the fans get riled up to just see the 2 minutes of guys grabbing each other and trying to punch, and maybe one falls, even not getting knocked out, just slips,
No,
fights
yeah,
over. This is, in the ice hockey wars, like this is a real thing. But bare knuckle, the crazy thing, especially with knuckles, like there's no glove, you're gonna get cut, there's gonna be blood, and no offense, like to any of the fans, but dude, we're all assholes. Like we want to see blood.
yeah, we
That's
are.
that's like I don't
Yeah,
want
we
to
are.
see somebody just oh damn. Like no, I want to see
No, they'll
blood.
start booing
I,
guys, and this is horrible. I hate to see
yes,
fighters get booed because, boy, you wouldn't get in there. You're gonna boo this guy. But hey, I'll tell you this: there's not a lot of that happening in the bare knuckle show because 13 fights, 11 knockouts. You go to 13
yeah,
fights and it's over in 3 hours, man. It's
yeah.
insane.
It's super fast. It's honestly convenient if you're an older person that's like, oh man, my bedtime's
That's
9
right.
p.m. 10 p.m. I'm done. I'm out of
10:30,
here.
we're
But
out of here, and everyone's knocked the
yeah.
fuck out, Shorty.
But that's the crazy thing is literally one shot, especially with that. There's no padding, and I don't know if you ever seen the sport or the show Fight Science. They
Oh yeah,
talked about who hits harder, the same person with a boxing glove and MMA glove, or just bare knuckle. And bare knuckle is scientifically proven to hit harder because there's nothing holding this back. There's no, nothing holding the speed back, and now you can throw your punch as fast as you want, which is going to cause more power with it. And especially bone to bone, if you hit any cheekbone,
it's
eye
cut.
bone,
You
the
cut.
forehead, anything, it's gonna cut, especially if it's slashing. And I've had my fair share of,
Oh
cuts of
yeah.
literally doing this and peeling. That's MMA
I'm
gloves.
missing
So you
some
just
teeth. That ain't.
imagine. Yeah, I trust me. I got my fair share of scars. Let me see. I got. Oh, that's a. It's like you get everything. So
That
just
being said, I
imagine,
think
just bone on bone. It sucks.
I think one of the allures of the sport too is while everyone may not have trained in boxing for the years it takes to get that, or trained in wrestling for the years it takes to get that kind of skill, but everyone's been in a street fight, a bare knuckle fight outside the Waffle House, we like to say, or whatever. So you can almost relate to the fact that I could be a much better fighter than you, Shorty, and I could
Mhm.
catch you one time bare knuckle and win. I don't have to be
Yeah,
the better fighter to win, you know?
yeah. Again, stylistically, Paulie is the better fighter. But why did he lose in bare knuckle? It's just that one punch. And obviously the grit determination, where you get hit, all that stuff, but literally that one punch. And that's why Mike Perry's so damn good because he knows no matter how much he bleeds, how swollen he gets, how much he can't see, the grit determination, it's one punch and that's all he's trying to land. And most of the time, that's how he wins his fights. It's always that one clean
Oh
one
yeah,
that
it's a war
stops,
of attrition.
Rockhold, MVP, Eddie Alvarez, all these guys where it's like, in all technicality, paper wise, you should have lost every one of those fights. But it's that one punch and
He was
obviously the
actually
determination
losing
behind
those
it.
fights. And Jeremy
Yeah.
Stevens, the recent fight in Jersey, which is, of course, Jeremy was much smaller than him, but Jeremy hit him with some cracking shots, man. Mike Perry, Platinum P, can take a shot, man. And, like, he's tough, and he has proven that in a tough sport, toughness can draw. He is a draw. He doesn't even have a
Yeah.
legitimate championship. He has a King of Violence belt, not a weight limit belt, not a weight belt, and he's still the biggest draw in that part of the sport. And then you have BKB in the triangle, much smaller fighting surface, smallest fighting surface in the world. So you got different aspects, and then you got Gramda. I don't know if you heard of them overseas. These guys are
Yeah.
insane, man. Gramda. You want to see some brutal stuff? It's crazy. It's like the the Russian street fights. They're doing these fights on pavement.
Oh
I
shit.
mean, bare knuckle. So, and these guys are like monsters. So, they've been doing it in Europe a lot longer than we have. But I see it. 3 years ago, I got into this business from boxing, and you go to half fill arena to a quarter fill arena. Now it's sold out. I couldn't even get my buddies in Miami. I usually get them in. Not this time. I couldn't get you in. It was sold out. We had professional fighters stand in room only. So, you saw it, and you're a big figure there in Miami. Miami is a fantastic city for fights. How long have you been down in Miami?
Man, I'm a nomad. I'm a couch surfer. I just got back. So I moved back here literally October 1st. I lived in Mexico for 2 years, and then, or at least was down there a year and a half, 2 years. And then before that, I was in Vegas for 2 years. Then I was here for like three and a half, a little bit around COVID of 2018 to 2021. And then before that, man, I'm everywhere. I was in Colorado, I was in California, like I've lived so many places. It's a blessing, but also ridiculous. So I got families over here, families over there. I don't think I have any kids, but man,
Oh no, here we
Miami,
go. Don't
yeah,
write
Miami
Bare
is
Knuckle
dope.
Syndicate looking for paternity for Shorty Torres, ladies and
Yeah, I
gentlemen.
was about to say, I was gonna say Miami. Yeah, you see little purple-headed kids running
Oh,
around everywhere. But no, man,
they're just like Shorty.
Miami's dope, man. Especially like you said, it's the fight mecca. That
Man,
and Las Vegas, I think, are the two big ones. I'm surprised that there's not another UFC Performance Institute here because I
yes,
really do
I'm
believe there should be
surprised.
one. But man, it is again, it is a mecca. There's so many big gyms and there's so many high level athletes that, especially even retire here, and they're like, oh wait, I have bare knuckle
Yes,
to do. Oh wait, there's BKB. Oh wait, the
you
Ice
got
Wars.
Misfit
Oh wait,
Boxing
I can
down
do
there.
this. I can do
Just
that.
a
Why not?
lot of
And
fighters down there.
even Florida Commission is pretty open with stuff. That's why bare knuckle's so popular here. That's why all these other sports are growing here so fast because they have the opportunity to grow because the commission's like, as long as people are safe, like we got it. As long as no one's dead, like for the most part, we're good. So it is. I mean, karate combat and all these different sports, like they're different. They're growing here for a reason.
For sure, for sure. Shorty, man, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of camp to talk to me. Before we let you go, though, I always like to ask professional fighters, please shout out your camp, your sponsor, anyone that I know it takes a team to do what you do. You can't do it by yourself. Please give love to your people.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm trying to think, man. I get punched in the head for a living, so I kind of forget. Some of the gyms I'm training at, the Goat Chefs. I appreciate everyone down there in Miami. Crazy wild gym, but a very, very fun, loving, family oriented place. But don't mess with the family because they'll definitely jump you. Um, MMA Science Academy in Sunrise, beautiful people, amazing team, and Amanda Nunes and her team. It's been a really cool honor to be part of the Lions Den and her fight camp. But also, I do want to give a shout out to my foundation. 100% of the proceeds of my website and the gear on
Yes.
my website, teamshorter.com, go to my foundation to help keep
Go ahead,
kids,
write down
teens,
here.
and young adults
Give that
inside the
website.
gym and off the streets.
Give that website right here. Once again, we're going to put it right down. Look right here,
Yeah, I
y'all.
got you. It'll be teamshorty.com/shop, and everything ships worldwide. Doesn't matter if you're in Mexico, Japan, the Middle East, the US, Canada, all that stuff. 100% of the proceeds go to helping sponsor kids, teens, and young adults to stay inside the gym and off the streets. And I've been able to sponsor, oh man, 50 plus people from around the world. Some fighters that ended up being in the UFC, but it's not about being a fighter or a professional fighter. It's about, my dad was a gang leader, but I know if he had the opportunity to learn from maybe better or had better role models that I've learned from in the gym, man, he could have been a better human being and impacted a lot more lives than he did in a more positive way. So for me, same thing with my brothers. So for me, I want to be able to give the opportunity back, not so you can be a professional fighter, but learn the morals, be in front of good people, or not, just in general, not do bad things in the streets or have the opportunity to do bad things in the street, learn from good people, and learn for the gym. I went to gone to college. I went to graduated. I went to met so many cool things. I wanted to learn about, politics, economics, all these different things because of the morals and people that I've met in front of me inside the gym. So seriously, it is a good place, and hopefully my foundation grows more. But it comes from the people. So that's why I do say we can, we will. Together we are Team Shorty. So I appreciate all love support, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. You see the link there, man. Please click that link and help Shorty. As always, giving back to the community, man. These fighters have such huge hearts, man. Thank you so much for taking some time or your busy schedule. And we will be looking for it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure January 31st, RIZIN TV. Check out Shorty's return to the ring over there in Japan. He's going to be flying, and we're going to make him fly right back and do New Year's Eve 2 times this year. 2 times.
Let's do
Make
it.
sure you tune into the Amanda Nunes fight and see Shorty. Man, Shorty, thank you so much for taking time out, man. We really appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you, brother. Please take care of yourself, and just thank you for the opportunity as well.
Hey, anytime, Shorty, man. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Jose Shorty Torres, man. Best amateur MMA careers you'll ever see, and then bounced around everywhere, winning championships everywhere he stopped, had a cup of coffee there in the UFC. They were crazy to let him go. I don't know what happened, but now he's still a young guy, 33 years old, championships in front of him. Can't wait to see the next fight there at RIZIN. No, RIZIN. He said RIZIN. We're going to do it right, right? So anyway, thank you very much for everybody tuning in here from the Bare Knuckle Syndicate. And you know what we like to say here at the Bare Knuckle Syndicate? You know, blood, it makes you family.
Blackout coffee, fresh roasted, bold flavors, serving heroes on the front lines.
Blackout! Blackout coffee, baby! Blackout coffee!
Please support our organization and everything we do for the fighters by using our link at bareknucklesyndicate.com/blackout.
We ready to rumble. Bare knuckle spot, hear the crowd feel the stumble. Adrenaline pumping, no fear in our eyes. We fight for the glory, ain't no room for lies. Throwing punches hard, yeah, we hitting the score. Syndicate on the rise, can't ignore the roar. In this pretty game, we're the kings of the block. Bare knuckle syndicate, solid as a rock.